Hello. Today I just want to talk you through a few hair things that I'm really enjoying. I was having a look in my bathroom today thinking there's so many things that I use all the time, and because they're not a makeup item I don't get around to showing you them, so I'm going to do a bit of a show and tell. So first of all, this is what I'm currently using to wash my hair. It's the Aveda Damage Remedy range. I've done some research into Aveda recently and I've always loved them as a brand, but actually hearing about what they do in terms of how committed they are to recycling, how they're committed to using recycled packaging, their sustainability initiatives are just incredible. And at a time when everyone's waxing lyrical about that, it's amazing to see how long they've actually been working in this way. So I've just really been amazed at some of the findings I've had since I started looking into them. Another thing I'm using alongside that is the Daily Hair Repair. The other day I'd let my hair dry naturally, it's very curly. It was all right and everything, but it was a bit puffy. So a few days later I put this in it and let it dry naturally. Completely different head of curls. Really great if you're someone that's frizzy, puffy, just needs to smooth it out. It's a leave-in treatment and it's just very nourishing. So I'm really loving that range at the moment. While we're talking about Aveda, I haven't used this in a while, but I just thought I'd bring this up because I've got it in the cupboard. The Invati range, I was just telling my friend about this the other day. I used this last year and the conditioner, and there's a scalp treatment. This is for you if your hair's falling out. Whenever I'm a bit stressed or upset or whatever, my hair falls out, and so I've used quite a few different hair loss remedies to try and stimulate it again. That is fantastic. It's not fun to use. It's kind of like a brown slush. It's a really different texture than what you're used to in a shampoo and conditioner. You're not going to get that, oh my gosh, lovely, foam feeling, but it will make your hair grow back, and it absolutely delivers on that. So if you're suffering with anything like that, it's definitely one that I'd recommend to give a go. Okay, moving on to Kerastase. Before I started my Damage Remedy, I was using the Blonde Absolute range. Really lovely hair range if you're blonde and want to keep it fresh but don't want it to go purple. So that was great. The shampoo in particular, I was really mad about. The first couple of tries, I kind of thought, has it warmed my hair up a bit? It took me a couple of washes to really get into, and then what I found that I had was just a lovely milky creamy blonde, which, especially like I live right by a main road, I think we're all subjected to so much pollution anyway. It really does make a difference and keep everything nice and clean. Next I've got to show you the Pantene Hair Biology Full and Vibrant Rejuvenating Mask. I've just big time fallen in love with Pantene recently. I went to this event of theirs a good few weeks ago now. Katie Piper was doing a live podcast recording, and it was her with Paris Lees, Ramla Ali and Errol Douglas. And basically, her, Paris and Ramla are the new brand ambassadors for Pantene, so they were all just kind of sharing their story and why hair is so important to them. It's now available as a podcast on Katie Piper's series to download. I'd really recommend having a listen to it. It was such a fascinating story. But I just loved that they'd chosen these activists who, when you heard their kind of really emotional connections to their hair, it made perfect sense. And it's so great that they wanted these spokespeople that really stand for things. So essentially they really won me over with that, which made me think, okay, brilliant, I'm gonna, put those things to the top of the list to try. And this particular mask, I just find that your hair blow dries lovely after it. It doesn't feel too heavy, it washes out nicely, because I sometimes worry about that with masks because my hair is fine, but there's a lot of it, so it's quite easy to weigh it down. But that one in particular working really well for me, and do have a listen to that podcast as well. Now, at the risk of repeating myself, because I know I've spoken about them before, but I'm going to have to chime in about Living Proof again. I'm absolutely mad about Living Proof. They are really different as a hair brand. really strange technology that went into everything, because it's kind of a fusion of the beauty industry and these engineers they've put all these patents into their products. So they've got no silicons or things that are going to dry your hair out or weigh it down, but things like dry volume blast, if you want something volumizing, it will double the volume of your hair and it won't fall out. Instant defrizzer, really good to just depuff, take everything down. I will point out, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm only going to the supermarket this evening. I've dried my hair, so I haven't really used any styling stuff this evening, but like, it does the most amazing job. I don't want you looking thinking, well, your hair doesn't look that full of volume. I've literally ran the hairdryer over it and, you know, done it. But Living Proof dry shampoo is incredible. It is absolutely fab. It will take your hair from looking so limp and greasy and all the rest of it to feeling completely fresh and looking fresh, and it doesn't leave any residue. It is expensive, it really is. I don't use it every single time I need to use a dry shampoo. I'll show you another Old Faithful that I absolutely love. But if, for example, I've had a blow dry and it's absolutely lovely and loads nicer than I would have done myself, I'll use this to keep it fresh for a load more days. Or if I've got like a special occasion at work or something, I've got little travel sizes that I always have on me to give myself a zhuzh. One more thing from Living Proof, the Smooth Blowout Concentrate. This is a rich oil and it's a heat protector as well. I have been using that for the longest time and I'm barely halfway through, and it's so rich. The tiniest bit goes a long way, so I'd really recommend that too. Dry shampoo wise, let's be honest, everyone's favourite friend is Batiste. I absolutely love Batiste. I've always used the original one and all the different flavours in the original formula, but this is Colour Protect and it's got a UV filter in it to really, if you do colour your hair, it gives you that extra level of protection. For the sake of, like, I don't know the exact difference in the price, but it's like £1 or £2 more. You get the extra benefits, so I switched to that in the summer and really like it. And as I say, I've been kind of using a different few prong approach to keep my colour nice and fresh. I found that moving to London, I used to live in Birmingham, blonde just goes so dull so much more quickly, so I'm very aware of keeping my colour fresh. And then one last thing I just wanted to weigh in on, I've literally used it for the first time today. My friend Deborah Ann, if you watch QVC, you'll know Deborah Ann. She's, you know, ultimate mega babe legend. We were talking about hair this week and she's lent me her Dyson hairdryer to give a go. Now, if you are not familiar with this hairdryer is over £300, which, I mean, that is just such an investment, especially for a hairdryer. And the thing is, you watch all the demos and things and it looks amazing, but you're there thinking, but it's over £300. I'm not saying for sure that I'd definitely get it or not. That's a huge amount of money. If you're thinking about getting it or just want an opinion on it, I have to admit that everything that they say about it proved to be true today. I'm going to use it over a few weeks to see how I get on. But they essentially say that because it's so powerful, you use loads less heat and it just gives you the results you need. And they say it's so quick and it cuts you getting ready time in half and all this. It is all true. Like, my hair is an absolute nightmare to blow dry, which is why I rarely talk about hair, which is why I had such a backlog to talk about today. Used it today. It's really smoothed everything out. It kept the shape of my brush. Like, I used a round brush and I've found that it's all just flicky and bouncy. It was so much quicker to use than what I would usually do. And I mean, I gave it a really rough dry because, as I say, I am literally going to Sainsbury's and that's about it. It was fantastic. So if you've got that, I'd really love to know actually what you think of it. The one I have is a GHD one that I've had for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. It's really powerful, really hard. It defo smooths your hair out if you're curly, but like the quickness of that Dyson one was unbelievable. But anyway, there's a few hair favourites. Let me know if you're using anything fab and I'll be speaking to you soon.